You spent over a decade training for this moment. Now someone is handing you a contract, and you have no idea which path is actually better for your career, your income, or your life. Private practice or hospital employment. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make as a physician. And most of us were never taught how to think through it. Today, we're breaking it down, clearly, honestly, and without the spin. Here's the reality in 2026. The landscape has shifted dramatically. Private practice is no longer the default. Hospital employment has exploded, and the old rules no longer apply. A decade ago, most physicians went straight into private practice after training. Today, over 70% of US physicians are employed by hospitals, health systems, or corporate entities. That number keeps climbing. But employed doesn't always mean better, and private doesn't always mean freedom. The truth is, both paths have real advantages and real trade-offs. And the right answer depends entirely on your specialty, your financial goals, your lifestyle, and your risk tolerance. Let's break it down across 5 key areas. Point 1. Income potential. Let's start with money, because that matters. In hospital employment, you get a guaranteed base salary. That feels secure, especially right after training. No uncertainty. No waiting for collections. You know what's coming in. But that ceiling is lower. In private practice, especially if you have ownership, your income is tied directly to productivity and profitability. That means in a well-run practice, your earning potential can significantly exceed what any health system will offer you. Here's a real-world example. A cardiologist employed by a large academic medical center might earn $400,000 to $500,000 annually with RVU-based bonuses. That same cardiologist as a partner in a thriving private cardiology group, potentially $700,000 to over $1 million, depending on the ancillary revenue streams and practice structure. The gap is real, but so is the risk. In private practice, you carry the overhead. You're responsible for staff, billing, malpractice, and operations. If collections drop, your income drops. Bottom line, employment offers stability. Private practice offers upside, with exposure. Point 2, autonomy and clinical freedom. This is where private practice typically wins, and wins clearly. In your own practice, you decide how you practice medicine. You control your panel. You set your schedule. You choose your EMR. You decide whether to spend 15 minutes or 40 minutes with a patient. Nobody's sending you a productivity scorecard telling you to see more patients in less time. Hospital employment is different. You work within a system. That system has policies, committees, protocols, and administrators who make decisions that affect your clinical life, often without asking you. This creates friction for a lot of physicians. A primary care physician in a large health system may be required to see 20 to 25 patients per day to hit their RVU targets. That same physician in private practice can choose a direct primary care model, see 10 patients a day, and charge a monthly membership fee. Completely different experience. Completely different medicine. If clinical autonomy is your top priority, private practice gives you more of it. If you can work within a structured system and you value the support that comes with it, employment can work well. Point 3. Work-life balance and administrative burden. Here's where hospital employment has a real edge. When you're employed, someone else handles the billing. Someone else handles HR. Someone else negotiates with the payer. When the roof leaks in the office, it's not your problem. That matters, especially early in your career. In private practice, you are the doctor and the business owner. That's 2 full-time jobs. The administrative burden is real. If you don't have a strong office manager or a good billing team, the business side can consume you. Call coverage is another factor. In many employed positions, particularly in academic or large group settings, call is shared across a large team. The burden is distributed. In a small private practice, you may be taking call more frequently, especially in the early years. The trade-off is this. Employment gives you cleaner boundaries, but the system defines those boundaries. Private practice gives you the ability to design your own lifestyle, but getting there requires infrastructure, patience, and business acumen. Point 4. Long-term wealth building. This is the most underappreciated difference between the 2 paths. In hospital employment, your primary wealth-building vehicle is your salary. You invest it, max out your retirement accounts, and build wealth over time. That works. But it's a single stream. Private practice ownership creates multiple. When you own your practice, you're building equity. That practice has value. It can be sold. It can be merged. It can generate ancillary revenue, labs, imaging, infusion services, ancillary lines that employed physicians simply don't have access to. Private equity acquisition of physician practices has also created significant liquidity events for practice owners over the last several years. That trend isn't over. Physicians who own equity in their practices have walked away with millions at the time of sale, sometimes life-changing amounts. Employed physicians don't share in that upside. This doesn't mean employment is a bad financial decision. A high-earning employed physician who invests aggressively can build substantial wealth. But the ceiling on private practice ownership, when structured well, is genuinely higher. Point 5. Job security and contractual risk. This one surprises a lot of physicians. Many assume hospital employment is safer. In some ways, it is. You have institutional backing, benefits, malpractice tail coverage often included. But employment contracts come with risk too. Non-compete clauses, restrictive covenants, termination without cause provisions. These can restrict where you practice, for how long, and within what geographic radius, if things go wrong. Private practice owners face a different kind of risk. If the practice fails, the financial exposure is significant. But you typically have more control over the outcome. The key is contract literacy. Every physician, employed or private, needs to understand what they're signing, especially around termination clauses, non-competes, and income guarantees. And that requires a healthcare attorney. Not optional. Here's how to think through this decision. Ask yourself 5 questions. First, how much financial risk can I tolerate, especially early in my career? Second, do I want to build equity and own something, or do I want a reliable paycheck while I invest my income elsewhere? Third, how important is clinical autonomy to me, and am I willing to manage a business to get it? Fourth, what does my specialty look like in the private practice market in my region? And fifth, what does my contract actually say, and have I had a healthcare attorney review it? There is no universally correct answer, but there is a correct answer for you. And that answer lives at the intersection of your financial goals, your specialty, your risk tolerance, and your stage of career. Do the work. Run the numbers. Ask the right people. If this helped you think more clearly about your career options, hit subscribe. We break down the financial realities of physician careers every week, without the jargon and without the fluff. And if you're a resident or fellow navigating your first contract, check out our video on physician contract red flags before you sign anything. See you in the next one. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial or legal advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare attorney or financial advisor before making any career decisions.